Uhuru Kenyatta, who is the former president of the Republic of Kenya, is once again trending across political discussions, and this is after he said something that has made him seem like he's supporting a certain side or a certain politician. Although Uhuru Kenyatta's words were neutral, a lot of things have been said, and I would like us to dive deep into this conversation where I will be sharing a video with you, and I want us to watch it together and try to understand how does this affect the 2027 elections, particularly matters Jubilee and matters Uhuru Kenyatta. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another interesting video. This is Duffy Updates, a place where we bring to you latest political news, well detailed and also well explained. You can join us and guarantee yourself to get all the latest trending stories by clicking the subscribe button under this video. You can also give this video a thumbs up, and finally make sure you click the notification icon on so that next time when we upload a new video, YouTube will automatically notify you that Duffy Updates has uploaded a new video. So first of all, ladies and gentlemen, I would like us to start by watching Uhuru Kenyatta's video where he said something which a lot of people, I don't know if they have understood it well or they are misunderstanding the statement, but to me, I think Uhuru is a leader who wants to see peace prevail, who wants to see leaders working together, and that's basically it. In this video, you're going to hear Uhuru Kenyatta directly, generally talking about leaders and particularly Jubilee leaders, but there is one leader in particular who Uhuru Kenyatta has gone ahead and addressed, and this is Jeremiah Kioni. For those who don't know, Jeremiah Kioni has been the SG for Jubilee for quite a long time. So Uhuru has not shied away from mentioning names. He has not shied away from addressing people directly, and I think that's one thing about him that most people love. So you're going to hear him addressing Jeremiah Kioni, addressing leaders, and addressing Jubilee leaders, and also addressing the just all readers generally. So let's watch this video so that we can continue with our analysis.
Which is good. Tunataka wapiganie chama yetu ama namna gani? Na hiyo ni mzuri. No kile kile hakaralia.
So when you first of all listen to that part, I know some people won't understand, and that is because he's speaking in the vernacular language, that is Kikuyu language. And just to explain up to that point, he has already mentioned a number of things. He has said that he usually feels very angry when readers when he sees things on social media, online, about readers saying that they are speaking on behalf of the party, or they are speaking just to advertise the party or something like that, and while they are speaking, they end up insulting other readers, other politicians, or talking bad about other people. Let's continue. So you can also hear him saying that when leaders say that they are talking on behalf of the party and advertising the party's agendas, but they end up doing that through insulting another leader or another politician, that's not how it should be. Instead, you should focus on yourself, you should focus on the party and speak everything in matters the party. You should just say what is the party's agenda. It's like, for example, when readers used to talk bad about Raila Odinga. Oh, Raila has done this, Raila has done that, instead of them just sharing their own agendas, their own plans. Sometimes back, for a reader to get elected, all you had to do is talk bad about Raila Odinga. So in the Jubilee Party, us knowing that Uhuru Kenyatta was directly addressing a person like Jeremiah Kioni, who has been for quite a while been talking bad about Rigathi Gachagua, and also we have seen a number of Mount Kenya readers talking bad about William Ruto and saying some shocking things about Ruto. Uhuru Kenyatta says he does not want that, and instead what these readers should do is just say what they are going to do if they get elected, what they are ready to offer Kenyans, and that will be it.
Maundu macio ma hindi ciothe guthoma mtandao andu ndioi anaroiga arugamirire Jubilee mararu magacagua na ku araru more ogi ndi kwenda maundu macio ma
Here also the people celebrating and cheering, and it is because Uhuru has said that he does not want to hear those things. He does not want his party, the Jubilee Party, to be a party of insults. He says that sometimes he could hear and even see on social media certain readers in the Jubilee Party insulting Gachagua in one side, saying the other thing on the other side, and he does not want the party, Jubilee, to be a party of insults or just a party of talking bad about other politicians. So what Uhuru has said in this short clip, a lot of people might just think it's just a statement, but it's more than that. This shows something very promising come 2027. The fact that Uhuru has gone ahead and even publicly called out readers inside his party. You know, these are things which you would expect that they go on behind the scenes or behind closed doors, where he would, for example, call Jeremiah Kioni, tell him, oh, I don't like it when you talk bad about Rigathi Gachagua. I don't like it when you readers do this and that. But him saying this publicly means a lot, and it says something that we should be expecting. So when I say that it says something that we should expect, a lot of people are saying that it shows that maybe Uhuru is planning to work together with Rigathi Gachagua and something like that. And this is also considering that a day after Uhuru Kenyatta said that, today it is believed Rigathi Gachagua has met with Fred Matiang'i, but we are going to get to that later. So before we go there, I would like to take you step by step on what this means in the coming election, for the coming elections, the 2027 general elections. Yesterday, the former President Uhuru Kenyatta made headlines after publicly saying he does not like it when leaders insult others. He gave an example mentioning Jeremiah Kioni and Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua, saying, and I quote, "I don't like it when Kioni abuses Gachagua. That's not how we should read." Now, at first, this may sound like a simple call for peace and respect, but for political watchers, it's much deeper than that. You understand? Because Uhuru Kenyatta rarely speaks in public these days. We all know that. And when he does, there is always a reason. We all know that. Uhuru Kenyatta rarely speaks in public these days nowadays, and when he does, there is a very good reason for that. So today, in this particular video, we are going to ask ourselves, why did Uhuru speak now? Why did he speak now, like at this time? The second thing, what message was he sending? What was he trying to convey? What message? What did the thing which he said mean as a message? And the third thing, and could this be a signal of his political return ahead of 2027? We are going to be breaking this down. First of all, you have already heard the message that Uhuru Kenyatta was quoted in the video saying, and Uhuru Kenyatta said he dislikes getting or seeing readers abusing, insulting, or belittling one another, especially those who come from the same region, the Mount Kenya region. That's where he is talking about. This comes at a time when Mount Kenya politics are more divided than ever. I don't know if you read I don't know if you know that the Mount Kenya politics are more divided than ever. In one side, Rigathi Gachagua has his support from Wamunyoro, and he has his people. On the other side, there are readers from Mount Kenya who still are inside the Ruto government, and they are saying they are still going to be there come 2027. On the other side, there are people like Matiang'i, Kalonzo. It seems like it is divided, and they don't have a, up to now, it is not yet known who will be fronted as a presidential candidate for 2027. You know, the Mount Kenya has to speak with one voice and say, this is the person who we are giving as a presidential candidate. But up to this point, we still don't know if it's Rigathi Gachagua. We don't know if it's Fred Matiang'i. We are not yet sure. Uhuru's words, and let me repeat that. This comes at a time when the Mount Kenya politics are more divided than ever. On one side is Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua, who calls himself the kingpin of the mountain. And on the other side, you have Uhuru's royalists, people like Jeremiah Kioni, Kanini Kega, and Sabina Chege, and others, who have been fighting political wars within Jubilee and Azimio. Uhuru's words sounded like a call for unity, but also a warning. A warning that Mount Kenya readers are destroying each other while outsiders quietly benefit politically. And we have seen this happening. When Mount Kenya readers are insulting each other, they are abusing each other and belittling each other in one side of the country. On the other side of the country, let's come to Western, where we can see the politics from this side. People are starting to come together. William Ruto has the support, or let's say somehow he has managed to get Raila Odinga into the handshake government. William Ruto has also managed to get Gideon Moi into the handshake government, or the broad-based government. So on the one side, people are coming together to work together and take Kenya forward, but on the other side, there are people who still are very divided. They have not planned on how things are going to be come 2027, and this is very bad news for the Mount Kenya region, and let's say generally for the Kenyan people, because we should be speaking in one voice. So Uhuru's silence and reappearance, we said that Uhuru rarely speaks publicly, and when he does, there is a very good reason for that. Since leaving office in 2022, Uhuru Kenyatta has mostly stayed quiet. He's been working behind the scenes on African peace missions, especially in Ethiopia and also Democratic Republic of Congo, as part of his regional diplomacy role. But politically, he has maintained a strategic silence. He has avoided direct fights with President William Ruto and his deputy, former deputy, Rigathi Gachagua, even when provoked. There was a time, Rigathi Gachagua, when he was still in government, he used to say a lot of things about Uhuru Kenyatta. Some of the things which he said, he even came out publicly after getting out of office and apologized for them, saying, I did not know better, and I'm very sorry that I spoke bad about the former president, the mother to the former president. We all know the things which Rigathi Gachagua said. So even when provoked, Uhuru has remained silent. So when Uhuru suddenly speaks out and specifically names Kioni and Gachagua, that's not random. You should know that. It suggests he is paying attention, and perhaps he is preparing for something. Some analysts believe Uhuru is testing the waters, sending signals to see how the public and political elite react to his voice again. It is the kind of soft re-entry politicians often use before reactivating their networks. You know, the 2027 general elections are just around the corner. The days, it's just coming. It's nearer and nearer. So people are starting to realign themselves. They are starting to prepare themselves and test the waters, see what they should do next, so that they can somehow manage to get the support they want come 2027. Uhuru Kenyatta's words, what do they mean, or how do they affect the Mount Kenya factor? The Mount Kenya region remains the most politically powerful voting bloc in Kenya. That's because it has over 5 million registered voters. But today, it's a region without a clear unifying leader. You know, if you are from Mount Kenya and you end up getting the support from Mount Kenya, those votes are almost enough for you to win. All you need to do is to just get some few votes from other parts of the country and you will end up emerging victorious. So the fact that there is no yet a unifying leader, it's shocking. Ruto's UDA camp has a strong support, but many people still feel economically neglected. Meanwhile, opposition groups have failed to build a solid alternative. You know, when you are trying to look for a person who will battle William Ruto in the ballot in 2027, currently there is not yet a strong opposition that can take down William Ruto come 2027. This vacuum has created space for Uhuru Kenyatta's re-entry. Uhuru has seen there is a vacuum, there is a gap, and this gap needs to be filled. Not necessarily as a candidate, but as a kingmaker. Uhuru can be that person who is going to say, elect this person, I trust this person will deliver the Mount Kenya people, and that's a very important role when it comes to politics. His latest comments about avoiding insults could be a soft attempt to rebuild credibility and position himself as an elder statesman, a peacemaker above the noise. But make no mistakes, in Kenyan politics, every message has a motive, and in Uhuru's case, that motive might be to reclaim influence in the Mount Kenya, in the Mount Kenya political base ahead of the next general elections. If Uhuru was to be involved in 2027 elections, what role could he play? That's a question you have to ask yourself. The behind the scenes kingmaker, he could be, that could be a possible role that he could take over. He could be that kingmaker who is going to decide on big decisions come 2027. Uhuru could remain behind the scenes, using his networks and resources to quietly support a candidate who represents his interests, possibly within the Azimio coalition or a new alliance. He could decide to look for someone who he believes this is the right person, or he could even come up with a new person who most people have not even considered. Coalition and new alliances, this is something which you see happening in Kenya now and over. He could also act as a regional leader. Uhuru could take on the role of Mount Kenya's neutral leader, bringing together divided leaders like Gachagua and Kioni, for example, and others, and rebuilding the region's bargaining power. You know, the Mount Kenya region has that power of bargaining and saying, we need to get this for us to give you this. That way, the mountain negotiates with strength, whether it sides with Ruto or the opposition. At the end of the day, ladies and gentlemen, you have to ask yourself, when Uhuru Kenyatta says he doesn't like insults in politics, he is not just talking about manners, he is sending a message. The mountain must stop fighting itself. And beneath the message lies a quiet burn of powerful reality. Uhuru Kenyatta is watching, and maybe, just maybe, he is preparing for his next political chapter. So, ladies and gentlemen, that has been a deep dive into Uhuru Kenyatta's recent controversial remarks, and I would like to hear your words on what you think about Uhuru Kenyatta's next move. What do you think he's going to do next politically? Is he going to start siding with maybe a certain politician who he believes is going to be a good fit for presidential candidate come 2027, or what should we expect? Thank you for watching this one. I'll meet you in the next one. Bye bye.